I do not endorse anything said in this stream.
Oh, wait. I'm back. She's back. Here we go.
Though I know I should be wary, still I venture someplace scary. Ghostly haunting, I turn loose. Beetlejuice! Beetlejuice! Beetlejuice!
The precise moment you completely realize you totally need to upgrade your intro because you haven't been using that particular avatar that you took off DeviantArt but got someone's permission for a long time. Hello, everybody, now and temporally in the future. I'm the current host of the Memes of Destruction, joined by my lovely co-host, the monster girl herself, Miss Piper, who has a lollipop.
Mm-hmm.
I still am Jelly. Speaking of Jelly, we have the good Jelly Duck in the chat.
Hello.
Good to see you, my friend. Good to see you. We need to converse a little bit more. You need to teach me how to do the music, as well as my Hebrew brother from another mother, Duvid, the good rabbi himself. Thank you for joining, as well as the Catman, Aditi. Quick shout out to my patrons, Dave Myers and Joe Franco. This broadcast is helped made possible by viewers like you. how does anybody hate on the PBS model? And
I know,
Space
right?
Time and Infinite Series are great shows. I finally donated to Wikipedia just because I realized how much I use Wikipedia and I felt totally bad, so I did the little average thingy. I'm totally virtue signaling right now. But speaking of going down the path less traveled, we have Channel 66 here as well. Joining us, speaking of Joe himself, welcome, my friend. Welcome, one, welcome all, to the show that basically, at least according to eternal cyclic cosmology, completely recycles the universe again and again because we live in best universe as well. Oh, hey, Arwen. I tossed the link in the Breaking the Multiverse Whisper Network or group or whatever chat.
You're gonna get me in trouble.
I just find it interesting. The group I created in order to save time, you're like, I'm gonna leave this group just because it's like this is the thing I do, and it's like, well, you're kind of. Then I think about it. I'm like, wait a second. Viper is an artist. She's a voiceoverist. She's a writer. She's probably in a bajillion different groups for actual work rather than a side gig she doesn't get paid for.
No, I just I wanted you to add my other account. The one that
Oh, the one that I should have messaged last week because you
Yeah.
were waiting, and I was like, oh, I see. This is the confusing part because you join as the monster girl, but you're let's like message Piper. My initial thoughts is message Fizz Giggity. But then again, I'm even more confused because my first images of Fizz Giggity is basically an additional needs puppet on the Tuck and Roll show that I have great concerns for.
Yeah, basically think of it like this. On Twitter, on most stuff, the Fizz Giggity account is Twitch stuff, and the Piper's Adventure account is everything else, including YouTube. So if you send me links for YouTube shows, just send it to the one I'm looking for links to YouTube shows for.
Is this where that thing Linktree or something comes out? And Dave has a question. Is
that tail?
Is that your tail, or are you sitting on a cat? I will not dragon splain for the young monster girl.
It's my tail.
She has a tail.
Mm-hmm.
Looks fluffy. But, as well as we have the good brightest day. Just always an eternal spot of light because we are wavy particles, so we kind of are light. Or at least some dude said that grapes are made of the sunshine. Hello now. Oh, welcome, my friend. It's good to see you. Was saying hi to you, Piper, as well. Yes. Piper has candy, everyone.
Mm-hmm.
There's one thing we know about candy. It's totally for sharing. Do you have enough for the class?
Oh no. I actually thought I would be finished with it before the show, but it's like a really big one, and apparently it takes more than 5 licks to finish it.
Okay. This seems all right. Speaking of getting to the center of things, hi, Arwen.
Oh, hey, Piper. It's so nice to finally meet you.
Yeah, likewise.
How are y'all doing? How you
Wait,
doing?
you all have never crossed on the stream before?
First
Oh dear
time.
God, we're in trouble.
I've been a hermit for a lot of this year too, so.
Well, you
happens.
do the comics and stuff like that, so it's like the time that you're not spending on the internet doing things like this, you can be making money.
Yeah.
This is true. Oh my God.
Some of us are attempting to make money because, as my good Rabbi Duvid always says, something along the lines of, well, if you can do positive karma things and make a profit, isn't that what helps the world go around? You don't need to be just a jerk about it. That's all.
Right. That makes sense.
I love the sheer fact that Arwen basically has a fan. She's fanning herself because she's a southern lass, and the southern part of the United States tend to be a wee bit warmer. It's actually decently warm up here, but normally I would almost like have like a layer. I might be shirtless, and then I have like kind of like the over zip up thingamabobber, and it's like, all right, I'm here, but it's cold, and then I have no idea where the hell Piper is.
Warm here, in the 50s. It's weird. Feels
There-
great, but
Yeah, it's just starting to get a little cool here. But I did get a new box of fans today, so I'm set. I'm good to go because this poor thing has been broken and glued, and
oh,
it's been through a lot. So I'm ready to go with new fans.
I was unaware that fans came in boxes.
This one did about 10 of them. I ordered in bulk. I said, damn, I use these things so much. I might as well go for broke.
that's a good idea.
Yeah. I was like, although I thought I ordered them on Amazon, and it was one of those like third party things.
Oh, I hate that.
I know. And I thought, because it's been a while, I'm like, dang, are they coming from China? Are they coming from Japan? Where are these things coming from? But they arrived today. It only took 2.5 weeks. So I was like, okay, I'm good.
That's still pretty fast from China. A lot of times I'm waiting like a month.
I know. And I said, well, as long as I get them and they're not lost somewhere in the ether, I'm fine. So
Yeah.
I'm good to go.
To be fair, and I believe physically correct, the aether itself, it's funny because that contains the quote-unquote quantum fluctuations, as some may say. Basically, a long time ago, they're like, all right, once you get outside of Earth, there's nothing. So you're floating in nothing. Before they said, well, it's the ether. It's represented by the icosahedron, a 20-sided dice in Plato's forms there, but in the Platonic solids. But the funny thing is, now it seems we've come full circle because they're like, there's an ether, there's no ether, and then they're like, there's an ether. We're going to call it superfluid. That's the technical term for it.
Okay.
So basically, if it was to disappear, the information would be retained in the universe. I'm just saying we could reassemble it technically somewhere, I claim.
Hey, well, they arrived in my house, so I'm good. All the rest of like, I don't care anymore. It's all good, but I would have been worried.
As well as
you pay for something, you want to get it, right?
Oh.
I mean,
well, this is true. I'm sorry. I'm attempting to interact with the chat because at some point I would like to actually do the things that are supposed to work. And it's also, I very often just rant at the camera for like 5 to 10 minutes and then basically turn the thing off and barely acknowledge anyone there. I feel bad. I need to clean out more hard drive room or get a new computer. But as well as, hello, Jester. Well, thank you for jesting us. I'm just saying. But as well as, we have Lewis swinging around. Yes. I don't be surprised if we see Power Rangers and Transformers. Power Rangers and Ninja Turtles has already done a crossover. I started watching when it happened. I'm like, it was pretty fun.
Some of the weirdest stuff has crossed over with Batman and Star Trek. Those have been some of the weirdest like crossovers.
Yes, I agree.
I liked Happy Days and Mork and Mindy.
Transformers crossed over with My Little Pony, didn't it?
Wait, what?
Did it?
I'm still trying to wrap my brain around that one.
Oh my god,
Yeah,
that's OP in that universe.
Oh my.
Her and Deadpool get along. They're like a different eigen state of essentially the same kindred spirit.
Nice.
They fought on Death Battle. I'm just saying. It's Nell. Have you got a new mic? But Well, all I know is we have a monster girl with a lollipop. We got a southern lass with a fan. We got some gingerness going on here, and some fluffy tails. I think everything can go right.
Yes, fluffy tails. I love it.
Oh, well, Jolly's saying the big. I do not have. Dude, my fan is literally like 15 years old. It's like the same one that I had when I lived at my mom's house. It's like it still works. I put it on every night for white noise. I cover it with some things, and then I have the sound canceling wireless headphones, and then I listen to like physics lectures and tarot card readings.
Nice.
I'm just saying it puts me to sleep. But I apologize for derailing the conversation. Oh, wait a second. Welcome, Wookie. This is the first time you've ever seen Arwen.
Hey, Wookie.
Have you heard Arwen? Because apparently on Rambling Canucks channel, I apologize if someone takes that as a slur.
Oh my god.
All I'm saying is there's some singing. There might be a clip coming together. Might be a
No!
how-to guide of how to enjoy confectionery treats. I'm just saying off camera. Arwen, explain to Piper how one eats a Twinkie.
Oh, Piper.
Oh.
Okay. Here we go. If some people find Twinkies way too dry, okay. Trick is what you want to do. God, I have to explain this to everyone. I'm like, how did I get in this Twinkie conversation? All right. You take the Twinkie and you dunk it in milk. Just enough, not so much that it absorbs all the milk and then falls off into the glass, but just enough to where the sponge cake absorbs the milk just to get a little moist. And you could just bite it off with your tongue. And I'm telling you, it totally transforms Twinkies. It really does. And it is so good. You can do the same thing with Oreos too. I can't eat an Oreo now without dunking it in milk.
Oh, no, neither can I.
Kindred spirit. Yes, it's so dry. Exactly. Exactly. So that is the proper way to eat a Twinkie. And I had a friend of mine, he discovered the chocolate Twinkies, but he didn't like them because he was like, they're just too dry. And I'm like, no, you got to try this. You just dunk the tip in milk, get it all nice and moist, and then you eat it. Don't let it get too soaked though. And he tried it, and he's a convert. That's how he eats Twinkies now.
I'm gonna go get some, and I'm gonna try that.
Have you seen the new ones that have their chocolate and they have the mint filling for Christmas?
No, what?
Yes, yes, it is mint filling. It's chocolate mint Twinkie.
Oh, I'm gonna find these and dunk them in some milk. Oh,
gotta try it.
Good.
Oh, I want to. I've been trying to lose some weight, so I'm like, crap. I don't know if I can, but you know what? It's Christmas. I'm gonna do it. Damn it! I'm gonna go get my.
I was like, I'm gonna eat all the junk, and we're like January. Me will worry about it.
Yep, I've already got my gym membership. I've been a couple of times, but I'll go back when I'm ready after Christmas because I'm gonna enjoy that Twinkie.
Exactly. Dude, I wonder how it would taste. How that Twinkie would taste dunked in some eggnog.
Ooh, that actually sounds good. Or if you really want to spice it up, Kahlua.
Ooh,
Bailey's Irish cream.
Ooh.
Oh my God, I think we're onto something, y'all.
I'm gonna get these Twinkies. I'm gonna dunk them in so many things.
Yes.
So many things.
This sounds so good.
I'm declaring now I'm bringing back Food War Z. No. All you need is just like literally just one or two people that know particular delicacies, whether it's a beverage, whether it happens to be a confectionery treat. Because like Piper and I, we were talking about like pie, and there is such a thing as too much pie. And she gave the best analogy. It's like, well, cheesecake is pie. I'm by going into this rant, and all of a sudden she's like, yes, and it has crust. Therefore, cheesecake is pie. I'm like,
the graham
topologically correct.
Oh, God,
yeah.
With
has
cherry on
pie.
top. Oh my God. I love that.
Yeah.
Now, Piper, let me ask you, do you prefer I think it's the New York style where it's really dense, or the French style, the French silk, where it's more creamy?
I like both, to be honest. I do know that obviously like the more dense one, I'm good after like a slice. I'm like, I definitely ate something right there.
Yeah.
Where the light one is, I could probably eat the whole thing. Like
I know. Me too. It's so good. Especially, I think it's Sara Lee does one with a cherry topping. Oh no, it's a strawberry. It's a strawberry topping.
Oh, that's right.
Strawberry. Oh God, that thing is so light. You could eat half and be like, I still want more.
Right?
Because it's so good. Yeah.
Again, there's like a future me can deal with the tummy ache. I'm having fun right now. Like
exactly. Especially this time of year.
Mm-hmm.
Oh God, now I want those Twinkies with mint really badly.
Right? I want to go to the store like right now.
I know.
See, this is why we need to become rich and famous, like Rabbi Duvid wants us to, because then we could engage in capitalism and have someone from Postmates bring it to us.
Yeah.
And actually be like, okay, it was worth it. Because even Professor Wolfram, he was going on, it's like, well, there's certain things, it's like, I have enough money, I've been enough successful as the CEO of my company for the past 35 years. That's like, if I need a delivery or something like that, it's not a problem. I want to go buy a new home. That's an investment. And it's like, well, you're not just going to go around with money, but I mean, it's all I know is
It's turtles all the way down.
thank you, Professor.
Such wisdom.
I'm just saying.
I
that,
lose that meme. I don't know what that meme is about.
I'm
know-
not saying. Go on.
No. Go ahead. I was just going to piggyback on something.
Well, this is the beautiful thing about the internet, because isn't it what we always wanted with television and stuff? We want interactive TV, something that we could watch, a show where we could learn about different characters, hear about different stories. Basically, Roman Coliseum, bread and theater. It's like, are you not entertained yet? Add that to my list. I'm so bad at doing things myself. I need to become wealthy enough that I can afford an assistant.
Right?
I wouldn't mind the wealthy part, but I don't know that I'd want to be like famous.
A lot of people are like that. A lot, even my web Autobot, Optimus, he's like, oh no, I want to be really rich. I just don't want to deal with all that BS with the fame and
That's
stuff.
the only
See, for
thing.
me, I think I err on I'd rather be famous, because I think once you have a certain following or something like that, there are just so many ways to monetize it now. Before it was like, you're famous to be famous. It's like, what does that do? Well, essentially, unless you were the Kardashians and basically get offered your own television series, it was a little bit harder to do. Within the modern internet, it's like, all right, you go over. It's like, hey, we're going to, I don't know, make some comics, make some arts and crafts, teach people the correct way of eating a Twinkie.
Well, okay, let me repreface. It depends on what you're famous for.
I was about to
Because-
say, you don't want to be famous for the wrong reason.
Yeah,
But fame is
Yeah.
about as close as you can get to immortality.
that is true.
Well,
About when my son was almost 4 years old, he disappeared from our house. He got up in the middle of the night and he went out the back door and like disappeared. He was gone for almost 3 days.
Ooh.
Yeah. And it became a nationwide story. And after day one, the police were like, okay, we're going to help you find him. And after day one, the suspicion turned to my husband and I, and they were convinced that we did something to our son. And we got ripped apart, just ripped apart on a lot of papers and some, because it turned from, oh, this poor couple, their son's disappeared. We need to help them find their son, to, oh my God, what did these parents do to their son? Wow. And it sucked ass, because we did not. And it turned out what happened was we had a low fence around our yard, and there were some toys behind the fence that another neighborhood child had left. And he wanted to play with them. So
toys.
he actually climbed the fence at 4, y'all. Climbed the fence. He was playing with them, and then he started wandering. And he was found a mile down the road from our house, and he had gone up to houses and turned knobs, and he found a house that belonged to, there was a house next door, not to us, but down the road. They had a house that they kept for storage and they rented, and it was
so there's no one
unlocked.
there.
So he went in, he made himself a little nest. He found some blankets, he found some soda and some candy, and he holed up there. That we think he was there for at least 24 hours. And the guy saw the light on, and he was like, I know nobody's in there. And he went over there and he found him. And of course, everyone knew he was missing. So he's like, I got to call the police, because this is that little missing boy. But
That's smart though.
oh, he's a brilliant.
Right? I need to go inside. It's nighttime, something like that, So let me find an inside to go into. Yeah.
But he walked a mile and he crossed a busy street.
Oh
I
my
mean,
God.
it's a miracle that he wasn't snatched or wasn't hit by a car or hurt. But anyway, yeah. Point is, they were looking at my husband, that my husband did something, and I was, an accomplice. And of course, it turned out no, that's what he did.
Yeah.
But yeah, that kind of fame is not fun.
Well, everyone that reported that would immediately clear it up and tell the story about how it's like, no, this couple wasn't actually planning anything sinister with their child or anything. It's like the kid saw some toys, let himself
Yeah,
out
that's
because
what
he was 4
happens.
years old, climbed a fence, and then went to a house that just happened to be used for storage,
But
made
when it's
himself
not
some tasty snacks.
sensational
And
anymore, it probably gets nipped as we found the kid at the end. And
That's
that's
how it was. That's
Yeah.
actually how it was. There were no retractions.
Yeah.
I mean, they told stories that we were drug addicts, that we were abused. I mean, all this, and it was like, do y'all know? At the time, we were in church, and like, like seriously in church. We didn't do anything but go to church and back. I mean, that's pretty much that was our life at that time. And even now, I'm not in church, but I'm not doing all that stuff. It was a rough, eye-opening moment. How? Oh my God, my cats! I'm sorry, y'all. Stop, Smudge! Quit.
I saw the kitty. You were in the middle of a story. I didn't just want to blurt out kitty. Trying to learn. We also have a girl with a tail here, so I didn't want to.
Hang on, in my camera.
It's okay.
I'm sorry,
all right.
y'all. It's my power cord. All right, we're good.
Cats have never mucked around with
cats
cords.
They're Smudge, come here. Come here. He's boss cat, and he's just, I don't know what his problem is tonight. He's trying to keep all of them in line. Come here. I normally close the door, but I thought,
the downside to fame, even if you originally get it from something positive, is that, well, if you're famous, people are gonna want to use that. You're in front of the public eye. People are gonna want to use that for their own personal whatever. People are gonna drag you. They're gonna find stuff because you're always gonna be scrutinized. Like the level of fame you are is the level of scrutiny and how long you'll be under it.
Yeah.
Like,
that's true.
That is the downside. If you're like quietly famous, I think like authors get the easiest fame and the longest immortality.
That's a good point, because they're not like singers, actors. Their physical is out there front and center.
Yeah, authors don't have to get out in front of people if they don't want to. They might sit at a signing if they want to, but mostly it's whatever name they're putting on what they publish and stuff, and that name lives forever.
Yeah, that's a really good point.
It can be a pen name too.
Yeah,
true.
And I think the modern version of that is an internet handle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just no, you're totally right. And exactly, this is the thing. It's like, I think as soon as you get fame, some may say it's like, well, let's say and it seems so true now, especially in the modern day. I assume it's kind of always this way, but it's like, all right, you almost have a social gravitas, if you would. Some may compare it to, I don't know, gravity, which means that you're going to have a following around you. And again, if there's one thing we've learned from gravity, we can harness its power, kind of like dams and hydroelectric dams. Basically, you stop the water, you let the water go down, the water goes whoosh, you spin the turbine, you make the powers. And so I think people are trying to milk. I'm not saying in every case. Some folks try to do it for different reasons and everything, but it's like, I do think we have a fair bit of clout milking going on. Every situation is different. I see. Well, then again, it's like, okay, I'm being a little bit too down there, but it's like, again, I'm projecting here. I'm totally projecting. But oh my God, it looked like you had antlers for a second. I'm like, just the way it's the sunlight. So, no, because it looked like there was a chair and then the other like kind of Christmas tree thing. There's the lighter parts there. And all I can kind of see from the glasses is like the rest, you basically have a darker outfit on. So I'm like, wait a second, are her antlers moving? I'm like, are you also a monster girl? Are you a reindeer girl? That would give us a fairly diverse cast of fur.
Piper's got the cute ears. Oh, over there. There we go. Piper's got the cute ears.
Those are basically like her normal ears too.
They're cute. I like them. I could get some antlers somewhere, but I want to find the headband with the antlers on them for Christmas.
I think they have headphones and stuff too.
Oh, I'm intrigued. Okay, I need to look. And if y'all see cats back here, just go with it. I've got
It's
a lot of
okay.
them.
It's okay. We're very friendly to the felines here, though we do not endorse feline violence on the Memes of Destruction channel.
No feline violence. Mm-mm.
Exactly. Well, unless it's in a fictional context, because let's face it, I mean, Kung Fu Panda is a thing. Jack Black, all I know is I started. I've never actually watched the movie. The terrible thing is,
No.
no, I like Jack Black. Like School of Rock was freaking awesome, and like a lot
Yeah.
of Jack Black movies were awesome. And then the Tenacious D movie came out, and all I know is like the best song in this world, the tribute song. I remember hearing that song. I'm like, this is literally like the greatest song in the world. Just had that great beat and everything. And the movie came out, and they never played the song in the movie. And I'm like, this is what I was watching the movie for. You never actually,
No.
you showed the story about how it came to be, but I'm like, dude, you just need to include. I swear, like that was like, the movie wasn't really all that great to begin with and stuff. So it's
No.
like, all right, at least put the part in that we came for. And the movie
Yeah.
flopped and it bombed. And like he actually did a song about it. And today, Steve, they've done some other good stuff. The what was it? I'll find it in a second. But all I know is it flopped, and then after that, I just lost interest in seeing Jack Black. Oh my God, I didn't separate the art from the artist because it was two different forms of art. I'm a terrible person. I'm a complete hypocrite.
Come here, Wookie.
I actually like him voicing characters more than I like him playing essentially himself
Say
in
hey.
movies.
He does do a good voice. So this is the I
Yeah,
never watched
he
Kung Fu
does.
Panda. There's like 5 of them now,
Yeah.
and I'm like, dude, I'm a freaking furry. Why am I not watching these things? And
Oh
I
man,
think it was because
there's like I think I've watched 2, and that was good. Like I was
okay,
like, all right, I'm good.
I think I added a couple of things that never occurred. But all I know is I can neither confirm or deny this is 1948 Idaho. But all I know is, and again, can neither confirm nor deny this is what enlightenment is. This is just a dude on the internet with some folks he happened to send a link to that happened to be discussing the finer ways of identifying confectionery treats due to topology, as well as how to eat a Twinkie by utilizing some may say as a super style fluid, as well as adding it and mixing and doing whatever comes naturally. I'm just saying. That was a good movie. there are 2 cats. Bone is keeping track. He's in this feline form.
I have a
He's
lot
dog.
more, but okay, 2. There's 4 actually in here at the moment, but only there's Smudge. He's Boss Cat. He's behind me. He's the one who actually has his own account. Somebody
Does
made a
he?
Judge Smudge account. I cropped up one day on Arrows of Chaos' stream because Smudge was judging us. So, and then y'all saw Wookie. She's right here.
Cats do that. Is that why some people don't like cats? Because they feel like cats are looking at your soul. Like a dog will just kind of be like, "Rah, rah, rah, I love you, I love you."
Maybe.
And then the cat's like,
Maybe.
I am staring through
Yes.
you right now. I am
Yes.
seeing your chakra and everything. You're like, stop judging me, cat.
He has a very human looking face too. His expressions are extremely human looking. And it's weird when he looks at you. It's like he's got your soul right in his,
Kind of like Grumpy Cat. God rest his soul.
Yes, kind of like Grumpy. But he's not as grumpy as Grumpy Cat. But yeah, kind of like Grumpy Cat. I loved Grumpy Cat so much.
Y'all know Grumpy Cat was a girl?
Wait,
yes,
what?
I thought it was a boy for the longest time. And it's
God, I misgendered her.
It happened.
Dude, it was the same with the Taco Bell dog. The dog's name was Gidget. Had I known the dog's name was Gidget, that's very close to Gadget, and she happened to be the female mouse from the Rescue Rangers.
Right. Well, they gave it a male voiceover anyway. A lot of times they will use they'll just whatever dog, like whatever critter for the character, and then just because I think Lassie was supposed to be a girl, but she was actually played by a male dog.
I heard that. I wonder if it's like whatever animal is trained at the time is properly available. I don't know. It seems like
Right?
they always swap.
Is that part of the woofriarchy?
I
Taking
guess.
taking bitches' jobs, man.
I'm no. Well, I tend to think it was the best pup for the job that could fill the role, as
Yeah.
long as you're not doing really any up close shots. Wait, is this why Bob Barker told us to get our pets spayed and neutered?
Yeah,
And
I'm
if you
assuming
and
it was not an intact boy dog.
yeah, and Lassie was hairy, so there you go. It's not she
Yeah.
had it she it
Uh,
she, him
Yeah.
he had a lot of fur.
okay, he had a lot of floof to cover the oof.
Yes. Thank you. That's what I'm trying to say.
Perfect.
So, no,
Exactly.
I summarize things in ways that sometimes often make people feel very uncomfortable.
Which is
No,
probably
that was
actually
perfect.
why they used a female Chihuahua for the Taco Bell dog, even though they made it a male, character,
Because
is
there was
because
no
he's
floof.
a short hair.
Yeah, there was
You
no
can't really
floof.
cover up the bits.
When one is trying to sell tacos, you probably don't want like big boss dog down there being like,
No.
"Yo quiero Taco Bell." It's like, especially with a lot of the shots they were doing and everything. Okay, that's fair.
Yeah, exactly. If you're trying to sell tacos, you don't want to be showing them hot dogs. Like, you want to show them tacos.
Okay, so here's my question for cats. For cats, they had to go back and edit the movie to remove the buttholes. My thing is
that was gonna make that movie any better.
no. Well, we won't go into that, but I'm just talking about from just a purely creative perspective. Did they have to have the buttholes in first and then remove them, or were they part of like the ensemble to begin with? Like, were there naturally buttholes there, or did they add them in and then have to take them out?
Are we talking in general or something specific?
I have no idea. I didn't watch it.
The movie based on the musical, all the cats had buttholes, and
did they show them? Like,
yes.
Welcome,
and
Tommy.
then
Welcome, Tommy.
yes.
Tommy. Speaking of furries, yes, Tommy. We have Tommy himself, the head guinea pig of Tommy and the Guinea Pig Collective. This has been a very furry episode. Apparently, Arwen may be getting some antlers and/or ears in the future. I will meme you all into furries. This is part of my dream. But all I'm saying, total projection. Hi, K-Shell. But yes, this is a very interesting time because, okay, does anyone remember? Because basically they released the movie, people were watching and they're like, are they showing the butthole of every cat? Because it's from somebody that has a cat.
I mean,
once in a while they'll do the little thing and they'll just raise the tail. It's like,
Yeah.
your butt in my face. Now,
yeah, that's supposed to mean that they trust you. They're
It
like,
does.
hey, you're pretty cool, so check out my butthole. That's
And the
fact.
higher the tail, the higher up in the air, the happier they are. So they expose their buttholes all day long.
Yeah.
Wait, my
So I
cat's
think
waiting
that's
for
why
me
they
to lick his
gave them
butthole.
buttholes
No.
for that movie. But I love that, like, so the reviews were tearing them apart. And only one part of all of these reviews tearing them apart was, and they all had buttholes for us to see. And so they were like, oh, I know what will save this movie. Let's remove all the buttholes and then re-release it into theaters.
They actually went in and removed the. See, I haven't seen the movie yet because I saw the stage play live. I've seen the one that they did, I think, in the 90s, where it was the stage play, but they did it for video. So it was all the original costuming, all the original staging. It was like you were watching the play, but I didn't see the movie yet.
You don't want to. Oh my gosh. So the stage play version is really cute.
Yes, it is.
The movie version is just nightmare fuel. Like,
I see. I feel like I'd rather watch the movie because, like, I remember seeing the previews for Cats because they'd be like, "Cats, the thing of our generation," and I'm sitting there and I'm like, I like Sonic and everything already. I'm like, just the music and the way they're doing it just didn't really appeal to me, really that much. It just, I don't know. I didn't get really the vibe and everything. And I was wondering, like, why is a movie about all these people like dressed as cats seem to last for so long? I think I now know why. But
What they should have done is just gone with the original costuming and juiced it up a little bit. I don't know why they felt they had to do computer animation because they didn't look as good as the
Yeah.
original costumes. And
So they
that
were trying to,
confuses
for
me.
some reason, to make them look like realistic cats standing on two legs, but with human faces. So they just created creepiness.
they split the difference right into the uncanny valley
Yep.
of you probably should have just made this an animated film,
Oh,
but
God,
animation costs
yeah.
a lot of money.
Oh,
Or
that
so
would've
we'll
been
just
good.
do like kind of these suits and then just kind of like trace out whatever works, and then we'll like, I don't know, mess with ray tracing or lighting or something like that.
Right.
To
It was
try to
weird because it was like, well, we want people to definitely recognize all of the famous people we've shoved in this movie.
Yeah.
So we're going to leave their faces as is so that you can see that, you know, this is Taylor Swift, the cat. And
we'll just do the voiceover. No,
Yeah.
it's like our one was.
Yeah.
I forget who was saying it, but it was like, I like Jack Black's voiceovers better. I
yeah.
actually kind of agree.
Mm-hmm.
I
He's
do
really,
like his
really
crazy
good at that.
faces. But that's me. So okay, well,
See,
Tommy.
that's what I liked about Kung Fu Panda is like they captured that. That panda was still just plain Jack Black being Jack Black.
I agree.
But
I agree.
but it worked
Mm-hmm.
as a cartoon character. Better
I
than it
didn't
works
know.
for Jack Black. Like
I didn't know they made 5 of them. I've only seen 3 of them.
I
Dang,
don't
I'm
know if they
behind
made
by
4.
2.
I think they made 3. I think I added 2.
Oh, okay. I'm like, wow. 5? Okay. But
So Nell, did you get a new mic? I'm sorry, you're blowing out our ears last time. Oh, well, it depends. Are
You
those
mean?
beavers angry?
sorry.
oh yeah, true.
That actually was a kind of good show.
It
See,
was,
that was a
dude. I liked that cartoon. My dad liked that cartoon. He'd watch it with me. He thought it was
well, they were
great.
engineers plighted by the humanity of beavers. It's once it got the cat dog, that was around it, dude. I think I was lucky because I got a Nickelodeon right around the time SpongeBob was really starting to catch on. I noticed all my friends, like younger brothers and sisters, just SpongeBob was on. It's like, I'm
Right.
like,
I
what is
finally
this
moved
doing?
on to 100% Adult Swim by that time. Like,
Well, you leveled up. You leveled up.
Yeah.
There
You
go.
graduated to extended basic cable. That's the
Right.
thing. It's like, all right, I'm going to watch more of these adult shows. And yes, I myself, it's like, I remember, I would always
like being 14, 15, going, look at these kids watching this SpongeBob and this crap.
totally ruined Barney for my brother as well, because I remember it's like, well, people,
my
oh, it's a
God.
purple dinosaur and everything. So I'm like, oh, you're watching this show, huh? And I remember
Mhm.
as he was watching, I'm sitting there, I'm like, I like this show. Social conditioning has pressured me into pressuring my brother into not liking something because I'm not supposed to like it, even though I like it.
Right.
Mhm.
I'm sure
No.
nobody else has ever done that.
No, me and my sister with Barney. Me and my sister are 6 years apart. And so she got into Barney when I was supposed to be moving on kind of from like the really kiddie preschool like level shows. But it would always be on because she was little. And next thing I know, like I have Barney stuffed animals and crap. Like
My kids did that. They're 3 years apart. Are they 3 years? Hang on, let me. 3.5, almost 4 years apart. And yeah,
Well,
my
I'm like-
daughter was always doing that with my son. But he, to his credit, he really didn't care. He didn't mind her being into the same things he was into. He was fine with that. So
I mean, how dare we have more toys to play with?
exactly, he didn't care.
Just be
I
pragmatic
know
about
I
it.
grew back out of Barney before my sister did, and I gave her like my Barney stuff. But it was the fact that I was
Oh.
resistant, and it was like, yeah, this is too low level, for me to get into. And then
Mhm.
suddenly I'm sitting there singing the song with her and all sorts of crap, and I'm like, when did this happen?
I love you. You
Oh my God.
love me. We're a happy family with a great big hug and something I forget from me to you. Won't you say you love me or like me to? I forget. I always made fun of the song, so I don't actually know the real words.
Well, I went from making fun of it to like genuinely singing it with my sister. It was just so weird, especially 6 years apart, and it was her age level.
Mm-hmm. Hey,
So what were your all's favorite shows growing up?
Eureka's Castle.
That was a good show.
Right? That was my little kid show.
Wow.
My favorite show.
I don't know. I see. I'm gonna say Ren and Stimpy, but then again, Eureka, it was there. It had a Magellan. It had a dragon and a wizard.
Right, little kid. When I was little, my favorite things: Eureka's Castle, David the Gnome, and and then Rescue Rangers. When it came along later.
I didn't watch a lot of cartoons when I was little. I watched a lot of reruns like The Munsters and Addams Family, The Monkeys, I Love Lucy.
Oh,
yeah.
Yes, I watched that too, though. Yes.
I loved those. I remember coming home from school, even being little and being like, okay, it's, at 4 or 4:30. That's when they started, and they went until dinner time, till about 6 o'clock. And I didn't really get into animation until I got a little older. When I discovered, He-Man. Let's see what else. The X-Files. I don't think so. X-Men. That was kind of more my jam when I got older. Really getting into. But when I was little, I loved those. Even to this day, The Munsters is one of my favorite. And I Love Lucy. I could watch that.
Yes.
Because it's timeless. Those stories are timeless. They're just, and if you noticed, for I Love Lucy, there's like the majority of those shows, there's only 4 people in one room, their apartment.
Yeah.
That's it. But they're so good.
Right? They were so entertaining, though.
They were. And it stands, how old is that show now? 50, 60 years?
Yeah, I would say.
And it stands the test of time. It really does. So I still watch it.
I was really little when I was watching those too. I remember, man, I adored the Monkeys for a time when I was little, man.
Yes.
I loved them.
Which was your favorite?
Oh my gosh. I don't even know, because I'm sitting here and I'm like, I don't even know the plots most of the time. I don't remember that I loved looking at them. Like
I just loved the music, loved the stories, it was fun. It was, and now that I'm older, I realize that they really could play the instruments, but they weren't playing the instruments. And that was a big controversy. And I'm like, whoa, I had no idea that the Monkeys were so controversial. I just didn't.
Controversy about media? That never happened.
Yeah, I know, right? But when you're little, you don't care. You're just like, yay, Mickey. Oh, y'all, and Mike just passed away. Mike Nesmith.
Oh.
Yeah, he did. So now there's only 2 monkeys left.
Oh.
Peter and Mickey. Yeah.
I don't know what the Monkeys are. I feel like I know.
What? You don't know the Monkeys?
I was busy doing other things. I was busy like watching shows like this.
Yes.
What's the puddle?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. All I know is last time I was at Disney World with ex-Mrs. Memes, as soon as we get into the park, I'm like, can I be a kid? She's like, okay. So I just started like dancing around like, life is like a hurricane. It is dark. Well, when in Disney, but that's saying.
Yeah. Yeah. DuckTales. Gotta love them.
I'm not saying that it was me or wasn't me. I can neither confirm nor deny this, but it's shame. I deserve a lot of shame for many things. Dee Dee, I'm just saying. Oh.
So the Monkeys were like the Beatles, the TV show. Like the Beatles, a goofy comedy TV show.
Yeah, they were.
I liked Goofy. Well, here's the thing. Goofy, the show, it would often appear on Masterpiece Theater. because here's a chap in a pipe that he's totally not smoking and talking about very good Disney shows and shorts and everything. And somehow it worked because I'm like, I'm an American. There's a dude with a British accent. He's obviously very smart because I give him plus 10 points because he's got that fancy British accent. So I'm like, oh, he's going to show me cartoons? Oh my God, this is almost the best thing since Mr. Wizard.
Yeah.
I was always like super sophisticated if you have a British accent. When I was little, I was like, that means you're sophisticated, you're a scholar. And
You're really- I agree.
Ever
It took that
stereotype.
intelligent notch just up by 10. Just
Yeah. The monkeys made it into Scooby-Doo. You notice especially back in the day, if you had a character that was supposed to be like a scientist or something, they always had a heavy accent of some sort.
Yeah, they did. You're
Or
right.
like never American. Never.
You're right. My God, what does that say about us?
Right.
Well,
We don't
all I know
sound
is
smart enough to be scientists.
they wanted to differentiate the characters. Then again, I would say that's kind of, I don't know, maybe statist or I don't know. I don't. To be
Right,
fair,
here's the thing, because it was almost always either British, some kind of Russian, or German.
Yes.
If there
Or
was a
some
scientist, they
weird
were always
blend
one
of
of
all
those three. Like,
it's like you're either from like Cambridge University. I can't do a British accent, or it's like for some reason we are obviously a Russian because this is actually my dwarven accent, and every time I try to do a Scottish accent, it just ends up
He's a
devolving into Russian. I like Russian. I like a good Russian accent. It gets me. When my friend she started talking in French, I'm like, that's cool. It's supposed to be the language of love. Or something. No, for me, it's Russian.
Russian, huh?
Point of personal preference. I'm just saying. I'm
and
just
then
saying.
9 times out of 10, if they had a German accent, they were an evil scientist.
I know.
Again,
Yeah.
nobody would ever stereotype.
Right? No.
Never, never.
Oh, Wookie, that hurts me.
Oh,
The thing is, in modern context, there'd probably be some truth to that. As long, my thing is, at least back in the days, if you wrote a paper, you didn't necessarily hear a
No.
person. If they're up giving lectures, would people have paid much attention to it? And some may say it's like, all right, here's a particular characteristic about a person that happens to stand out. And it's like, the one thing that I've noticed, especially on this internet stuff and things, it's like, there's so many smart people out there. And it's like, very often, it's like, how many people out there that, like, you'll see on like a famous, like on the TV, on the news or something like that, these are our experts and stuff there. I'm like, all right, are these the best experts, or are these the experts that these people happen to know that happen to be decent at talking in front of a camera about certain things that they would like to have talked about?
Yeah, at least in
That's a good
writing,
point.
like that's how you kind of even the playing field when it comes to the sciences, especially, is them writing papers and books and those getting passed around and, challenged by other scientists and this and that. But like the hardest way I think to like break out would be if, don't worry, I'm from the South too. So, but Ohio like destroyed my accent. It's so weird.
The neutral area.
It neutralized it. Yeah, like,
yeah.
it's so weird.
Connecticut's kind of the same way.
But like, so the difference between you would have to be well read and write your paper well, and you're in. Like, then they don't care where you're from, what you say, is smart or makes sense or in this and that. But it's different than like you have a lab coat and you're like, y'all hold my beer. I've got an idea for science. Like, then they're just like,
hold my Jim Beam.
Right? then they're just like, oh, this, even though that's especially back in the day, that's what science was.
Yeah.
It was legit. I think this is going to happen. hold on,
Yeah.
and they're probably drinking or on some drugs. I'm gonna find out if that's exactly what's gonna happen, and then they blow themselves up or something. But like,
Yeah.
But yeah, but then you really can be judged by where you're from or what your accent is if you're trying to prove something in that manner. But
That's
if you
very
just
true.
sit here and read a bunch of books and then write like a 1,000,000-page dissertation on what you think, what your theory is, what you think will happen if you do the experience, if somebody holds your Jim Beam and you do the thing. Then they listen to you. Then they take you seriously.
It's one of those things where if you manage to pull it off, you are then awesome forever. If you fail, people will remember that forever.
Yeah, but the problem is if you fail, depending on who you are and where you're from and stuff, it's the failure especially where they're like, if you fail, it'll get, some people it'll be, oh, they put it to the test and tragically, it didn't work out. Whereas other people, it'll be that dumbass fucking did this and this. What they think was gonna happen? Like.
Well, speaking of Herditor, we're now joined
your
by...
hair is really awesome. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Speaking of wonderful furry things, hi, Tommy. How are we doing, my friend?
On? It is going well, memes. Piper, you are wrong. You are wrong, our Lord and Savior. You got to listen to Fauci. He is the only one to listen to when you're talking about all these problems that we are having right now. Listen to Fauci. Trust the science. Stop worrying about your freedom. Just do it. Yeah, you're wrong, Piper. You're wrong. Just listen to Arnold. He knows what he's talking about. He's a wonderful Nazi.
Dude, I 100% think that Fauci, whatever the crap, has made it as far as he has because of his accent.
I mean, I do really like the Brooklyn accent. I mean, that's my point of personal preference right there. To be fair, Dr. Fauci is not a politician. He's a doctor. And Arnold Schwarzenegger is not a doctor. He's a politician. Which is where now. Do I have criticism? Yes. Do I have many questions? Yes. None of the information here provides any type of medical advice. I'm not a doctor nor whatever.
You know what? Quite honestly, though, memes, I would trust Neil Patrick Harris before I would trust Fauci.
Right.
I would like House. Me personally, I would like House. But speaking of Christmas is coming a little early.
What the hell are you people talking about?
Oh shit!
Oh, things just got real.
Yeah, they did.
I don't even know what I'm doing here. What's going on?
I mean, I'm not saying, but all I know is links on the internet can be dangerous. You never know what you're going to come across. Maybe a monster girl, a sudden lass, a head Gustavo of the frickin' guinea pig collective. And
they've said that Peter died in early 2019 and that Mickey's the only one left.
What?
Oh,
Peter's gone too?
We're learning so much.
Oh my God, no. Well, crap, my day's bummed.
Mickey
There's
Rooney?
one monkey left.
We're talking about monkeys, apparently. I don't know. Oh, speaking of that, we have a Sherry who's joined us as well. Oh, welcome, Sherry. Tentacles are, oh my God, we have another squidkin or something here. I'm not sure what's actually going on.
You know what the problem is with people like him means is they've got no tentacle control.
Can you get him away from me? He's gonna pull the trigger. Get away from me.
No. You know what? I had nothing to do with that. That gun completely fired itself. I wasn't even in the area at the time. I was on the other side of the town. I was getting a Starbucks when all that happened.
You don't sound like former Vice President Dick Cheney.
That duck just jumped in. The pheasant just jumped in front of me, and I took out that whole acting crew.
Birds are really smart.
Time out. Can I say something about the Einstein with the Southern comment? Because that's bothering me. Okay, number one, how many lay people actually know who that Einstein was German or Austrian or whatever he was? Most of them just think of him as the guy with the hair.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, tell me about your feelings. Yes.
Number one. And number two, the South is not just one accent, y'all.
Oh, yeah.
We've got
moonshine, there's southern.
No, hang on. Before Moonshine's a different story.
No, for real. There's Cajun, there's Texan, There's
And yeah, and then you've got your
There's
Gone with the Wind
Deliverance.
kind of accents, and then you've
Yep.
got your real redneck, and then you got your bubbas, which don't get me started on those.
What about Deliverance?
yeah,
But,
exactly.
yeah, okay, those are bubbas.
There
you
is
got- you got
redneck
a per-
Those are
discrimination.
bubbas.
No, no, no. I
You know
talk with
what,
people.
Fat Steven?
So,
You
I
got-
like those type of guys because you got a purty mouth.
You got a pretty mouth too, boy. You should squeal like a pig for me. Guinea pig, that is.
but my point is,
You can't go near
Einstein
the
would
guinea
have been
pigs. I don't
listened
trust
to
you.
even if he had a
Squeal
southern
for
accent.
me.
I don't
Oh,
But he
you made
would've
him feel
been-
awkward. He broke character. Go on.
Was that a squeal?
Anyway.
I heard a squeal.
I don't think he would have been as listened to. But then again, I'm
He
also
was
talking
so
about modern
brilliant.
because further back in the day, like there wasn't as much stigma. There wasn't this
Theory of relativity.
True.
people down south are stupid and people in the north are smart. There wasn't that.
We
I
didn't
know.
have
Why
enough
do
time
we
to
give it such a
later.
bad rap
reinforce
just
the
because of the way
negative
we
memes.
sound? I don't get
Yeah.
that, y'all. I
You
really
guys
don't.
mock Canada all the time. What are you talking about?
Say
Hey,
again?
this isn't
What?
about you.
I was
I
about to
apologize
say.
for my
So
racism.
when you think about
Oh, y'all wrong north. My bad.
scientist characters, though, that you don't think of Canada. You still think
you
think
think
of the
this-
three.
You think of the South Park song, blame Canada. You don't even have
Yeah.
to blame single Canadian. Just you like start singing the song, marching hat, band.
So the South and Canada, we basically get shafted when it comes to people thinking of scientists.
Oh no, when we hear South from
Yeah.
Canada, we think Mexico.
You think okay?
But I don't
All
think-
right.
But I don't think scientists, because they don't make scientist characters.
You know, you're right. You're
Hispanic,
absolutely
too.
right. So we've been conditioned
Yeah,
from our childhood to think scientists are either, what did we say, German, Russian, or English?
German, Russian, or English, and then later,
Yeah.
nondescript Asian.
Yeah.
Came later.
Well, that don't count anymore because Asians are now white adjacent. So
Oh yeah.
Well,
Oh,
I mean,
yes, they're
so,
off-white,
so
yes.
are British, German and Russian. They're pretty damn pale, man.
They are.
Depending
I
on the
lived in
heat,
England. They really are.
apparently, at least so I'm told. I resemble that.
Anyway, I don't know. I
all
get
going to hell.
sensitive to it. I lived in England for several years, so when I came back, I lost a lot of my Southern twang because I was a teenager. But I've been here for so long that it's back with a vengeance. And it's just, I don't know. I mean, I guess I don't know why that stereotype is there that Southerners aren't smart.
I do declare, I think you're wrong here, man. I don't know what you're all talking about right now.
I'll tell you. I will tell you what started that divide, the Civil War.
Oh,
You know, turtles all the way down.
The Civil
Okay,
War is where
right.
it turned into the South is nothing but uneducated rednecks and
you're
blah
right.
blah blah.
That's
well,
the
yeah,
Civil
no,
War.
I think Piper to a degree, yeah, but it started way before that. And that's why the North looked down so heavily on the people from the South, because they looked at them as more of agricultural type of people. They didn't really look at them as industrious. And most of the industry was in the North. So all the products and everything would be moved up to the North. I mean, and
Yeah,
I
but they
mean,
weren't
even
looked
if you look back in history, they looked down on people like George Washington, because George Washington was a Southerner. He came from Virginia, and they looked down on him. Even though they praised him, they still looked down on him because he was a Southerner.
Can I ask a question quickly?
I'm just saying that it didn't become like this hard, permanent stereotype of the ignorance. It was more like you're just not as
educated, maybe.
I have a question.
Heck,
When it comes to Civil War, was Captain America from the South or the North, and what side was Iron Man on for the Civil War?
I think Cap was from Brooklyn.
Oh, okay.
So,
All right, just wanted to right Civil War.
So they're both from the north.
Wait, they're both from New York. Is this why
Different-
From
everyone,
the north.
everyone
different
thinks
Civil
it's
War.
well,
Yeah.
different
Was War Machine
temporal
from the South?
multiverses or something? But
I don't
Yes.
know, y'all. I get sensitive about that. I probably shouldn't be, but I have heard that a lot. That people from the South, they're dumb. They don't know anything.
these are
'cause the way they
why
sound.
stereotypes are bad. And I think a lot of times people
Mhm.
just kind of harp on something that bothers somebody, and they just kind of use that as something to like mimetically, I don't know, try to pound it into them. because they
Pound.
just don't like them for some reason. Hey,
I lose that meme. I don't know what that meme is about.
Pound.
hey,
I should learn all these memes.
Are you looking
Pound.
for
or don't.
Are you looking for a pound cake, Steven?
No, I'm looking for a quarter pounder with cheese and crispy
It's-
bacon in a bun.
It's very dense. I'm just saying.
I'm not dense. I'm
Yep,
asleep.
Steve Rogers is from New York, and
Yeah.
so is freaking Iron Man.
Iron
Tony
Man.
Stark. So, wow.
Are there any
yeah.
superheroes from the South besides Rogue?
Right?
Oh,
Gambit.
Remy, Gambit. Gambit.
Yeah, I was about to say Rogue and
Well,
Gambit.
they're
I think
kinda
that's why they were my favorite
chérie.
when I was little. When I was little, Rogue and Gambit were like my favorite.
Oh yeah, I love Rogue. I love that.
I'm pretty sure.
You know who I'm talking about?
Cable was from down south too, wasn't he?
I
So
don't know.
basically, all the
Was he?
Southerners got stuck in the X-Men. Is
Wait. Hold on. Wait. Are you saying that comic books are New York supremacists?
Marvel? Oh, Marvel ones.
Because
are.
like everything happens in New York. I'm
In
like,
New York,
where's this
yeah.
representation from other? It's
Yeah.
we wouldn't want to be geographically supremacist. That's
Well,
the thing. It's like,
DC did the same thing to a very large extent. I mean, you look at Gotham. Gotham was supposed to represent New York. Metropolis was supposed to represent a cross between New York and like Seattle.
Chicago?
Yeah.
Okay.
Of course, to be fair, Atlanta was not as international then as it is now. It is one of the huge major international places to go. With we've got the huge international airport.
Yeah.
We've got all the travel here. So that's why Atlanta probably over the past 10 years has really started, shows are not only being filmed here, but the stories are being placed here.
Yeah.
International airport. You got a bunch of open space and stuff like that. Where why not set up some studios? Tends to be warm most of the year.
Yes, Kraken. Yes,
Cable's
Wolverine
from
was supposedly Canadian, I think, as well as all of Alpha Flight.
Right, and Cable was from the future.
At least,
Oh, that's so cute. Canada
like
has
they were
one.
made up places.
Yeah, we got
so
Hugh
you could
Jackman.
at least
Fucking-
pretend it was a place you knew if you really wanted to. But like in Marvel, it was flat out like, yeah, no, everything's New York.
New York. That's it. That's all the only place that exists.
Yeah.
Well, what we're talking about here is just even this conversation. This is fascinating because as Tommy started to bring us into a realm that gets quite controversial in these current times. See, my thing is I never really understood why people got so impassioned about it. My thing is I would get very angry back in the day if somebody didn't agree with me. I'm like, I'm totally right. And then I learned from Rabbi Duvid, it's like, oh, wait, there's a multiple truth hypothesis. And you start to learn more about other people and yourself and everything. It's like, well, people have different perspectives and everything.
I was about to say, when it comes to opinion, like, except for stuff that's just plain factually wrong, sometimes it's all in the middle. It's all valid. Like
it's their perspective. That's the thing.
Yeah.
And the more and more we learn about physics, it's like it's making a lot more sense now. It's literally lining up. Like it's just like if this was your observed experience to you, this is what happened. It's like, what was it? Because I had said like I confused you, Piper, because it's like I sent it to your Fizzgiggity account, but that wasn't your technical main anymore. Even though I probably shouldn't have known this because you're in all these different forms, and it confuzzled me. And you just said something very simple, and then I forgot what you said. I assumed one thing, and it was actually something different.
Yeah, I said just assume like that Fizzgiggity is for all Twitch dealings. And the other one is for everything else. Like, so if it doesn't have to do with Twitch, just use Piper's Adventure.
No, do you know how many cars they went through?
Oh my goodness, yeah.
They went through hundreds of cars. I was reading an article and they were talking about every time that they filmed one of those shows, they would go through a minimum of 3 General Lees during every show.
Holy crap, I didn't realize it was that much. Jesus.
Or also the parts, because I assume like it just the shocks or whatever they were using at the time. I'm like, they probably blew them out a lot.
Well, no, they said every jump memes pretty much destroyed the car. Every jump.
Yeah, I love
it. Just sounds like that would be an
really
expensive
did.
freaking show to like produce.
It was at the time.
It was popular.
It was-
Supernatural through its entire run used 3 cars,
Yeah.
3 Impalas. That was
Well,
it.
I can sum up Supernatural pretty easy for everyone for every season. Sam, Dean, Sam.
I know, right?
Dean, Sam, Dean,
I
Sam.
love that
Mom,
show.
Dad, Sam,
Right?
Dean, Sam. God, no.
I loved that show, but it got to the point where I was like, okay, so this season, Sam's the one that should be in trouble. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, all right, that means
Yeah.
next season is Dean's. Something's wrong with Dean.
And then they brought the mom back, and I'm like, oh great, Mama Dean's back, Mama Sam's back. Hey,
That's when
man.
I dropped off. Is when they brought her back. Actually, I was like, you know what? I should have left like forever ago, and I'm gonna leave now. Like,
Okay, the fact when God said, screw you guys, I'm out, I was done. I was like, okay, now
Yeah.
God wants to deal with the show no more.
right?
No kidding.
That, and I really
Oh.
liked it when they would use lore and even scary stories and this and
Mhm.
that from all
Mhm.
over the world.
Yeah.
And it became nothing. After a while, they were just like, no, we're just gonna stick to Christianity. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't tell me if God left. Honestly, you wouldn't have the other deities. Let's say, like if we're looking at like the gods of like Greece, or we had the Norse gods, or some other gods tried to take over that throne. Why didn't they even have someone like come in and actually cause? Oh, we don't have to fight one god now. You have a group of 8, and then it turns into like the mortal god combat.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, and they acknowledged that the other gods existed because there was Loki.
Mhm.
And they acknowledged a few times that even the other gods existed. And I'm like, okay, so then if this one decided, fuck this shit, I'm out.
Squirrel.
Was that the god of
It-
nuts?
It's well, something like that.
낮에는 따사로운 인간적인 여자 커피 한 잔에 여유를 아는 품격 있는 여자
Sorry.
You're welcome, Parrot.
With the word nuts?
I technically mentally noped out when they killed Death.
Oh my god.
Is when I technically really noped out. I just saw that season to its end.
Wait. They murked the merc with a mountain girlfriend.
Yeah,
How dare they?
technically. Only he was like this cool old rocker dude.
No, that's very sad. Oh, you're in your furry farm.
Yeah,
I love the eyes.
right?
They're
Yeah, I
pretty.
took
Wait,
out from
are
a
you-
victim last week.
God.
Wait, did you just gender swap?
Yes.
You're fluid.
Yeah, I gender swapped. Look, now I totally changed into a frosty.
Oh, you totally look like a. No, I'm just
Don't
trying to
stick your
think.
pride
It's like,
in me.
Like
what
a
would-
frost.
what would the cute fox girl, and then the cute wolf girl look like? I don't know. I think they'd be beautiful babies. Dragon.
Oh my god, yeah.
My
I haven't
cousin
seen
Earl.
that. Cute.
Face rig.
Ah.
Yeah, face rig is really fun to play with. It was just really bad for this particular avatar. So I had
Did
to
you have live 2D installed as well, so it incorporated over fine?
Yeah, that's VTube Studio seems to work and I think it's because the person that made the avatar, that's what she uses. So it works in VTube Studio better. But I went and got
God, Santa.
face rig first. So
Yeah.
I'm like, well, no, I'm not using that. What do I? But it does have some fun built-in stuff in there.
So speaking of avatars, somebody's getting a makeover.
Yeah. And so what's going to happen is that is going to be the official Fizz Giggity, and this one is going to be this is what happens when Piper and Fizz Giggity are mixed.
Ooh, okay.
I have a serious question right now. Does that lollipop ever get smaller?
No. I keep licking it. It's like some Willy Wonka shit where it's everlasting.
Everlasting
It tastes like
lollipop.
snozberries.
It is snozzberry flavored, yeah.
Nice.
Like green.
That's good. Although, I've always wondered how the heck was he going to make any money off those things?
Right?
If it was everlasting, it would never go anywhere. And you'd never have to buy it again.
Right? He would sell one.
Not very smart. He would
The
sell one per child or one per
The
adult.
everlasting could work in a great fashion. Let's say you had no candy on hand or couldn't buy any candy at the store. You can pull that out, get your sweet fix, put it away till eventually you got your allowance or you got paid from your job.
But that's the point. Once you bought it, you would never have to buy it again. It was everlasting.
No, but yeah, be everlasting, but you would get bored of constantly licking the same thing. You don't know if it's in your pocket wrapped up. You got lint, coins, Gorilla Glue on it. You don't know.
I don't know that's true, but dang, if I bought a piece of candy that was everlasting and I knew I was going to be able to suck on that thing forever, I would take care of it, of the candy.
Yeah. I'll keep it clean.
Yeah, in a little tin. You just take it out, pop it in your mouth, do your thing, and put it back.
Yeah.
Shut up.
You would have to make like one batch.
That's it.
But,
See, he wasn't thinking.
Isn't sugar addictive?
Yeah, but that's the point. It's everlasting, so you could satisfy that sugar addiction all the time.
Yeah.
Would you
Because it
want
might
to
sell
the
less
same
than his
thing
other
forever?
candies too.
What if you
I wouldn't buy it. Okay, look, I wouldn't buy it because I would just no, that would. But if that was the only thing I could afford, and I knew it was forever, then yeah, I would get it, and I'd take care of it.
Right, that would be my candy because I can't afford any more candy.
So I guess for poor people it would be okay, but from a capitalist point of view,
well, it's in you forever.
Yes.
It's in you forever.
No,
Oh,
I just got
the
into a
block
beta. I just got into a beta I was applying for. I'm happy. Sorry.
Neat.
That was the email.
I never thought it was a smart business.
Wait, they're giving you an everlasting gobstopper?
This is the kind of stuff that, like, when I get older and rewatch some of my favorite childhood stuff, I have so many questions. I'm like,
what
wait a
we
minute,
think about,
right?
It's just like, dude, you need a new marketing person or something, because whoever sold you on that, they weren't thinking.
Just because you figured out how you can doesn't mean you should business-wise.
Thank you. That's right. It was dumb.
But what if you swallow it? Well,
you're never gonna pass it, and your colon's gonna hate you.
It's huge. I don't know how you could choke on. See, that's another thing. It's hazardous.
You better have good medical insurance. Oh my God, you just gave me an
idea. It had
idea.
the little spiky things on it.
Right?
Oh no.
Who the heck came up with this idea, Willy Wonka? You were stupid. I'm sorry. Stick with making
Oh my
chocolate.
God, there's been a surge in hospitalizations. The Willy Wonka's chocolate factory has been sued into oblivion.
Right?
Oh God.
Well, I remember there was this candy when I was a kid. It was actually, I didn't know. I thought it was a candy. It turns out it was a gum. It was called Razzlers. It didn't taste like any kind of gum. I swore it was a candy when I was a kid.
Oh
yeah,
that was gum.
Yeah, it was gum. I didn't find out until much later on. I was like,
it was
whoops.
gum.
Yeah, I thought it was candy because I used to just eat it.
Razzlers and Chiclets. Those are my two favorite gums. Razzlers and Chiclets. Y'all remember Chiclets? And the little mini Chiclets?
Yeah.
Where you put the
Hey,
whole
you
pack
want
in
some
your mouth?
chiclets, lady? You want some chiclets?
I just remember when there was still candy machines that you could put like a dime and get like a handful, like a fistful of chiclets.
I remember penny candy.
Yeah.
Penny
I
candy.
also used to eat gum.
And when candy cigarettes
Bazooka
actually
Joe.
looked like cigarettes.
I've probably eaten so much gum just to not be in trouble for chewing gum in school.
Arwen, you want to hear a funny one, Arwen?
Yeah.
When I was cleaning up my dad's house, in his room, I found about 3 or 4 unopened boxes of old school candy cigarettes, like the named one too, like Winston and
yes,
what was it?
yes.
Oh, God. I'm
That
trying
had
to
the
remember
little
the other
red
brands
tip on
because
the
they had
end.
Winston, they had Marlboro, they had a cool cigarette, they had a bunch of them that were all named.
And they don't do that anymore, y'all. They're just candy sticks.
Wait, that was gum?
No, that wasn't gum. That was just
those are basically sticks of sugar that dissolved in your mouth.
Yeah.
That made you think cigarettes were cool?
Yeah, you would pretend that you were smoking.
Yeah.
And then they stopped. First, they took the branding off and made up their own brands. And
Popeye cigarettes, red cap package, circle in the middle, had the red tips, white chewable.
Yep.
And then they stopped selling them in packs that looked like cigarette packs.
Mm-hmm.
And then they renamed them basically candy sticks. They took little red off the end.
The red was so cute.
Yeah.
It wasn't like the whole
Do you
thing
remember
was red. It was
the
just-
licorice? They used to have the licorice that looked like a pipe.
Yeah, and it was like the corn pop type,
No.
right? It had a turnaround and it had like the white little licorice or sugar coating on the red on the top. You mean?
Right.
Yeah, I
Yep.
remember those.
No, are you
Black
serious?
licorice pipes. Yep.
Dude.
Well, see, I don't eat black licorice, so that's why I wouldn't. I would
Oh,
have been
I
like,
love black licorice.
I like red. I'm a red licorice girl.
It's almost Twizzlers.
Black red.
You can use them as straws.
True.
And the long ones, the shoestring ones,
Hmm.
the really
Big
long
league
ones
shoes,
that are
gotcha.
braided, but
Then
they're
you can
red.
peel them.
Oh, the pulling.
Yes, you can peel
Yeah.
them. Yes.
I do like
that's
those.
Those are good, but I don't do the black. It's something about that. It's just too strong.
Oh, with
And
the-
it turns
with
your
the
tongue black too.
Yeah.
It turns your tongue black.
Well, licorice
That's
is
a
an
myth.
acquired
That doesn't
taste.
really happen, Arwen.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Wait.
Oh, just think
black
about the
licorice
context
is
of what you
actual
said.
licorice.
It turns your tongue black.
You
Black
said you said you
licorice?
don't like the black ones because it turns your tongue black.
No. Let's not be
Give it a minute.
racist against confectionery treats here. I
Shut
gotta
up,
stand
Tommy.
against
Shut
that.
up. I'm talking
No.
about
If we're
licorice.
gonna call
damn
it out, we need to be consistent here as well. Although, isn't this why? No, you can brush your tongue and stuff too. Although it actually changes different colors as well. Like if you have like a whole bunch of red stuff, or I think where's my purple stuff? Oh, where'd it go? I just made a drink. I don't know.
I would just like to say that completely wasn't my fault. I just pick up on things I hear and I run with it. It's not my fault.
Okay.
That's why I like you.
believe you. Oh, y'all remember rock candy that doesn't taste like nothing but sugar?
Oh yeah,
But it was so pretty. It looked like a clear crystal geode, but on a stick.
It was on a wooden stick.
They sold those at museums a lot.
Yes, they did. Yes, they did. Along
Did-
with
did you say
saltwater
museum?
taffy.
Museums.
Is that like a museum? Are you talking about like a mausoleum or something? Are you a necromancer, sir? Oh my God! Are all your Oompa Loompas actually raised dead gnomes? Oh my
someone
God! We
wake
just
me up
figured
when
out
it's time
Santa's
talking?
workforce.
What?
I think we need to get NATO on this.
What was
I
that,
am not
Pillow?
president of the
Yeah.
internet. Don't listen to me.
Oompa Loompas raised dead now.
오빤 강남스타일 강남스타일 오빤 강남스타일
You bought a whiskey drink, you bought a vodka drink.
It takes a while to get there. I need to bring that up. But
You talk about that hard rock candy though. You know, one of the ones I hated the most, and this my grandmother had that. It was a lot of the older people. It was the barley lollipops.
The barley lollipops?
Yeah, they were basically lollipops that were made from barley. They had like a really weird taste to
Ooh.
them. And I remember it was just
Ooh.
like the really old people that had those things. They were so
I've never heard of
funky.
those.
Like, I'm sure somebody that, you know, because they have all those confectioners out there that like to make the older stuff anyway. I bet you could find them somewhere.
Well, see, my favorite lollipop
I love Dream Pop. Yeah.
are Dum Dums. Y'all remember Dum Dums?
Yeah, I'm on Twitter daily. I'm on Twitter daily.
Dum. Yes, we know.
No, seriously,
elder.
y'all remember Dum
I'm
Dums?
serious. I love Dum Dum.
My second favorite were Ring
They're
Pop.
good.
Ring
Yeah,
Pop,
like
man,
Ring
I have
Pops.
drool all over my fingers.
But Dum Dums Green Apple. Oh my God.
I got blocked by a Dum Dum today. His name was LeVar Burton.
I saw that. I saw that. What?
Congratulations.
I don't know.
All I
who
did
that
was
is.
use logic, respectable contradiction, and his reading Rainbow blocked my white ass.
Yeah. That was crazy.
Oh, he's the take a look. It's in a book.
Yep.
Reading
Sipping
Rainbow.
I
Yeah,
purchased
Jordy LaForge, y'all.
Signal
Jordy
every day.
LaForge.
Yeah, Jordy can suck it.
You being mean.
Chicken George.
Yeah, I contradicted his whole miscreant connotation with Leon Brahms in the episode where he fell in love with the hologram, and even used contradictions with how people treated Barkley, who called him broccoli with his hologram addiction. And he blocked me. I followed him that day. He blocked me that day. I guess he doesn't like fat people either.
You were
That was
arguing
crazy.
about his love interest?
No.
Not exactly.
Not what?
I had no context. I had something about like a holographic like boyfriend or girlfriend or something.
It was the character on the show. He was talking about a character on the show. And he was getting, It was
I don't know. My
stupid.
mind went to
It was
weird
stupid.
science. I don't know. I've been probably hanging around the holographic community a little too much. Hi, Piper.
Yeah, no, it just, I don't know. They got to have something to complain about and bitch about. And anybody who calls them out, even being respectful about it, they don't like it. So they're going to fuss about it and they're going to make a big deal about it and block people. And
Here's the thing. We also need to acknowledge some folks are out there like, I just want to put this out in the ether. I want to resonate with folks that are going to like this. And all of a sudden, somebody comes along. It's like, I don't like this. Comment. I mean, is that like what's going on? Do we need to animate how people are interacting with comments? Because words are only a single dimension here. Because, I don't know, as like 3D typical creatures, some of us may happen to be 2.5D. It's all right. We're including you as well, Piper. But we also like your lollipops. All I'm saying is, basically, it's like, well, over thousands of years, we've interacted face to face. We can see like eyeballs and stuff like that and everything and pick up on different cues and stuff. Is this person going to try to murder me? That's probably a bad thing. I should probably be on guard. And we have the internet. And over the past 100 years, we've adapted to like, I don't know, talking on the little jingly-doo and being like, hi, where are you? And now that's a new dynamic as well. It's like, so auditory tones. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, by the way, here's like 140, 280 characters out. And by the way, there's like billions of people here. Have fun.
No, I mean, it's really what? It's only been in the past 20 some odd, 20 plus years that it's happened.
Very new. Very new. And just different generation. My thing is, it's so crazy to me now. It's like when sites like even YouTube or Twitter or Facebook came into being, it's like, all right, there are people literally now on the internet that are basically becoming like of the age of majority that like they've known nothing but the internet. It's like, how crazy is that? Because I don't know about you all, but it's like I'm old enough to remember. It's like I remember thumbing the little dial and asking, hi, is so-and-so home? Not where you at. Is Robbie home?
Yeah.
It's like a different dynamic. Where are you? It's like Babylon 5. It's a different question. Depending on the question that's asked, leads to a much different paradigm.
Well, and the problem too is that people do not know how to converse. They don't know how to handle anything different out of what their circle of right is. And if you say anything that challenges that, instead of saying, let's have a discussion, it's, you know what, you suck, let's block. They don't know how to do anything other than that.
Different opinion,
right?
Exactly. How dare you.
And some really great things have come out of conversations where people don't necessarily see eye to eye.
Yeah.
But they don't want to have that. They don't want to take the time because they think it's unimportant. They think the only thing that's important is what they believe and what they think. And they don't know how to do it. And it's going to crush our society. I mean, we've already seen how that's playing out on social media.
Right.
It's dividing people into camps.
That type of behavior is leaking into real life now. Like,
we're becoming very tribal, and not tribal as in finding your people, but tribal as in you are the enemy because you don't think how I do. So I need to block you, or I need to silence you, or I need to call you a nistophobe or whatever.
Well, I think in a way, Arwen, I think in a way, like a lot of what the internet has done is created mass narcissism with a lot of people because they assume that they're the only ones that matter. So they put these things out there and then they get upset when you respond and they don't like your response. Well, guess what? You put it out on the internet for everybody to see. And if you thought that only your opinion mattered, maybe you shouldn't have put this out in public.
Good point.
It's like, Tommy, it's like airing your public laundry and stuff like that. It's no one else's opinion. And the fact that anything that happens over time in the last, let's say, year in general, whether it be celebrities or anyone else just trying to get a step up on another goddamn person, it just shows how petty it is at the end of the day. And this is, I'm saying, is a retrospect. Public airing your dirty laundry, whether it's public or between another group, or you put out your opinion or yourself, your like or dislike, you're going to get criticism and judgment no matter what, because every human in the world has one thing in common: a different opinion, just like their asshole.
Right.
I think my favorite genre of people selfishly not getting it are the ones that put stuff out in public on the internet and then have the audacity to say, well, it's none of your business. Like when somebody replies,
Yes!
I've run into that
Oh,
a few
God,
times
yes.
recently too.
the
And you know
mind
what I
your
find the
business
best.
people, like,
You know what I find the best way to get rid of them, Piper? Well, I try to get into a discussion with them, and usually it doesn't work, and they want to try to like rattle my cage and they want to irritate me, and then they just realize that they just got into a battle of wits with somebody who's not going to stop until I annoy them so bad that they block me. That's how I get rid of them, and I never have to deal with them again.
when I am bored, that's what I do. I don't block. I just sit here and if I'm in a hurry, it might be I'm just posting cool story bro over and over again. But like
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
yeah,
What
no,
you
my
do-
favorite is the mind your business people. And it's like you
Mhm.
put your business in public. You
Yeah,
could have kept it
exactly.
to yourself.
Well,
You know,
it is social media. To be fair, Google actually solved this a long time ago. It literally had the best worst idea ever. Oh, excuse me, strike that. Worst best idea ever. And by that I mean Google Circles. Because it's like, all
Mhm.
right, we're just including the people that you want to discuss this particular topic with. It's literally a circle. It's the simplest explanation, but Facebook already existed. And people already had numbers and metrics and stuff. It's kind of like stopping playing this MMORPG and be like, join us in PUBG. That sounds good, but I already have like a level 70 gnome mage, a dwarf warrior. I got my priest up there too.
Mhm.
So it's like, why would I leave something that I was maybe not always enjoying, but still had plenty of fun doing to go do something else? Cost benefit.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just, what are you
It
doing?
kind of sounds like a life at
Okay,
sometimes. It's kind of creepy.
See,
Are
I'm
we in a
from
video
where
game?
like chat rooms, just chat rooms were like the first form of social media on the internet. I
Dude,
guess.
AOL chat rooms back in the day?
Yeah,
We got our
you
slash
just
roll
chat
I
D20,
remember
rooms.
man.
I can't
remember
imagine
those.
somebody like typing something into a chat room, somebody else replying, and then them going, "Mind your business." Like, I never saw that happen because it's like you took the time to type it into a chat room.
Because no, that was the room that you didn't want to piss people off of because it was maybe up to, I don't know, maybe a few hundred people. So it was a limited community. It wasn't like millions and millions of people in all there. Not like anyone would ever have an alternate character as well to play, or maybe they'll hop on their main or something like that. I don't know, when you grew up with the internet and you saw like the different layers, I remember ICQ, I downloaded it, I got it up and running. I never successfully actually used it because I'm like, well, I don't really know anybody. I technically know how to do this, but it's like, oh, look, here's AOL Instant Messenger. This is great. My buddy keeps spam texting me. Oh my God, it's bothering me now. I don't even want to have to deal with it. But speaking of not having to deal with things, but hey, Pixels, what's going on? I hear conversations are important because this is how we rectify things.
Exactly. How's it going, everybody?
Hey.
Conversation right up my platform, man. Literally. What's going
I
on?
still have no idea what it is. It's like one of the greatest ideas. It's just I'm not really sure exactly what you're trying to do.
How dare you join this publicly broadcasted conversation? Mind your business.
I am just shocked that he was able to use GPS and get here. That's all. I'm shocked.
Piper, it's pretty much summing up like this. It's like PBS doing a public broadcast like fundraiser, and everyone being like, "Why aren't you giving me money? Give me money!
Yeah.
Stop telling me you don't have enough money." You're
Yeah.
public broadcasting, you moron.
How dare? And you know what? There is not a Waffle House at every exit, Tommy. We have to be fair about this.
Oh my God!
I'm just saying.
Could be. It depends if they're real waffles or blue waffles.
I prefer the cherry waffles personally.
Well, you were talking about the early chat rooms memes. Like I remember talking to my uncle about it because he was a computer programmer when it first started, and he said those really early chat rooms, they would sometimes take days for you to get a response because you would put things up on what was called a message board, and then you would have to wait to get a reply. Could you imagine somebody wasting their time for days just to troll somebody on a message board like that?
I was gonna say, I think message boards pretty much are current day forums.
They're Reddit.
Yeah.
This is
Mhm.
evolved
I'm surprised those
BBSs.
still exist. But yeah, that was
Yeah.
like the first form of social
The-
media. Then the chat rooms, which were faster.
Well, current social media, I'd say it's basically quantum memetics. That's, well, technically, I think I already said that at one point, but it's basically you take your message boards. See, for me, at least when I got to college, I worked a third shift job, like 7 days a week. So like my sleep schedule was really weird, and I also played with an Australian guild, so I was up a lot of their hours. And then other folks would say something, and I just happened to be at the library at school at the time, and I'm like, I just pop onto my laptop. It's like, well, how do you respond at all these hours? Just because my schedule is so segmented and stuff. I love trolling people on boards.
Well,
All I'm saying is these things happen. and-
오빤 강남스타일.
yeah. Well, another
much
thing
fun.
too, okay, besides just the putting it out there and expecting people to just ignore you and then get upset when they do ignore you, it's a really weird dichotomy, is people don't know how the hell to control themselves anymore. They have no self-control.
Because even just spams. Well, some people don't get told that; they just get shunned, and they're like, "What?" I'll give you a quick example, and then I'll let you all take it away. But I remember when I started getting to the political things back in this current Eigen state, when I was just an avatar, not quite like this, but similar to this and stuff. I happened to be in a Sargon of a chat. They were saying a whole bunch of things. I'm like, let me say a whole bunch of things to try to sound smart and witty and everything. I said a few things because I was able to do it, and then I was timed out. I'm like, what did I do wrong and everything? I'm like, oh, wait. If you do this all the time, you're going to spam. So there are moderators here. I'm like, okay. And then I would try to say other things. And then there was a person in the chat was like, if you actually want to interact with people, try adding them. Or maybe saying their name, acknowledging another person's existence. I'm like, that's a fantastic idea. And I've tried to incorporate that into things that I do. So when I see folks that I acknowledge in chats and everything, I might not be on the panel, but if I see a bunch of people I know, I try to maybe not, I'm not always at a computer. So when I'm out running, typing the whole thing, but it'll be like, oh, hi pipes, Arwen, Steven, Tommy, LDG. It's like, why not? Why not? I try to include people, especially the folks that I know if I happen to see them. And then you feel bad because you scroll up. It's like so-and-so said hi to me, but I was out running for another 15 minutes or I wasn't on break for 2.5 hours or something. And it's like, I didn't even know some. So there's all these different complex situations. And very often we just take it in as, oh, this person obviously hates me. Because universal truth number 6, our minds tend towards the worst place. Rant over.
Okay, I'll agree with that to some point, but doesn't that kind of go back to we don't have any self-control? People don't, I mean, and not that social media exactly fosters that, let's face it. You know, social media is about self-gratification. You post something, you want a response. You want a good response, but you want a response, okay, right away, pretty much.
But I think there's also a bit of the fact that being behind a screen, just you don't act the way you would if you were talking to these people in person.
I agree.
How dare you?
There's an element.
I try, you know, on screens and
Often.
everything, I try to
Often.
be 100% me, but you still know, because I have social anxiety, so I still know that in person, I would probably keep a lot more to myself than I do online.
You can't be
I think
yourself
that's
when you're
a
in
general
person.
rule. I think the people who don't have that kind of self-control or don't have that kind of self-awareness or who don't want to get different opinions, I think it would apply more to them. I agree.
I don't know. I act exactly the same on here as I do in person. LDG seen that. I'm a jerk in person as the same I am on the internet. So
but you have self-awareness, though. That's the point. You have self-awareness. I do too. You know,
like,
I'm
I
kind of
still
what you
act
see
the
is what you
same.
get.
The difference is I can act this way around strangers when I'm at my desk, and in person, I can't. I have to know you better before I can act myself, essentially.
A lot of people are like that. It's
I see what you
even
mean.
on streams. When I've done political streams, it's like I'll get off a stream. We're supposed to be debating something or it's something, and it's like, all right, I'm going back and forth about this. At one point, there were things I'm like, I thought he called my friends Nazis or something like that. At one point, I'm like, did you say? He's like, no, I didn't say that. And I went back and I listened. He did not say that. I heard what I thought he was saying, and I'm like, okay. Let me actually believe my own BS for a second and let me assume that a person is being honest with me. he was being honest, and that changed it. And at the end of the conversation, he's like, dude, I feel like I can really talk to you. And that made me very sad, because I'm like, that means we feel like we can't talk to each other. Because
we also build up an image of another person online. And we also have to defeat that image to realize that it's just another human on the other side of the screen, whether both treating them with respect or calling them out on their bullshit. We all see people differently, especially on YouTube, the social platform. We see people in a different tier system because we've been watching for so long. We believe what they say. We see the crowds filling up in the chats. We develop this own type of pedestal mentality, and if we don't mean to, it's subconsciously ingrained by the way we interact with social media in a general form.
Yeah.
Like I said, 90% of the conversations I have all lead to one thing. Perception is 9/10 of stupidity. It's all about your perception. No matter you're talking to somebody in person or if you're talking to somebody on a social media platform, how you perceive your environment, how you perceive everybody else, how you perceive yourself, and how you perceive other people perceiving yourself. It's all perception, and that's what I see drives miscommunication, arguments, selfishness. Self-control, everything you guys have been saying. It all.
Are we memeing ourselves into oblivion?
Yes.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think that leads to a lot of misunderstandings, and people don't listen. They don't listen to each other. The point taken. But no, they don't. And in some ways, that's hard because with social media, take YouTube aside, when you're on Twitter or Facebook or any kind of just word written mechanic, it's hard to hear inflection. You can't hear someone's voice. You can't see their face. You can't get context a lot of the time in what they're saying. So it is a lot easier to misunderstand things in a tweet or on Facebook or whatever. And then couple that with a lot of us don't have self-control in that environment, or you're ready to be offended. My God, so many people are so ready to be offended right today. They don't want to give people the benefit of the doubt. And once we stop giving people the benefit of the doubt, you're just going to have a mess.
There's also the other thing.
Go ahead.
Sorry, but there's also something added to that too. We also have those people that are not only listen, but we also have those people that actually thrive and have to live off the victim mentality, or they have to live in that drama world. It's like they can't move beyond fixing a solution, having a discussion, and then they're like, oh, and then they're preaching this, and this, and yet they're not dealing with their own personal shit at home. It's like when you see Morty and Rick and Morty. Come on, Summer, get all your shit together in one big pile and get your shit together. It's like people will only want their half shit together because they need somewhere to just target. And you're leaving that party, that whole circumstance, that area targeted as a blame for something, and you're just saying your hearsay, and you're developing another anti-personality against someone that no one knows is actually a falsehood because this one person wants to live in that environment. Yeah. And you know what you're doing? You're ruining friendships with everyone else around you because of your bias rather than having a discussion and fixing a problem.
That's very true.
If you're not cutting the toxin at the root, you're fucked.
Yep.
People are using social media incorrectly, and forgive me because I hate calling what we have right now social media because it technically isn't. But for lack of an argument,
it's kind of anti-social media in some ways.
It's corporate. It's corporate. Excuse me, publishers. They don't give you a feature on a platform unless it benefits them before it benefits you. It's not your platform; it's theirs.
No, we're time sharing.
That aside, if you want to hear yourself, and this is one of the things that I'm going to be changing on Twitter, is that you can be heard. The problem is the idiots are not making videos of them talking. They type and hit enter. Make a video and talk. You got the tool. Might as well use it.
It's additional dimensionality, in my opinion. Because
you
at least at that point, you have
video.
some inflections. It's we're more used to that.
Yeah.
That's why words are important.
Are there mice having sex somewhere?
Right?
It sounds like Tommy's running on a wheel in LDG's outside porch.
No,
yeah, I'm sorry.
This time, I think what's happening is LDG is trying to film the birds from Alfred Hitchcock. I think that's what's going on.
Actually, ever since Tommy left me to dry and lost, I've grabbed a few guinea pigs.
Left you to dry.
I'm in my fan right now.
I told you guinea pigs were fast. You didn't pay attention, no.
They have some spunk too. I mean, ferrets are also very just all over the place. They're very hard. So this is my
love
senpai. This is my senpai, Steven. So you remember how you did that picture that ended up being me? I'm like, why is my sensei in the picture? This is the reason why, just because of similarity. Just saying.
Oh,
Completely different tangent about a completely different subject that probably almost no one here understands except like 2 people, but it's all right. It's all right. It's what makes the world go around. You see all the connections.
You would see a humongous change the second we actually have a true public forum that gives you the true freedom of speech and the freedom to listen instead of the bullshit they have today with blocking people. And I mean, the reason why we have cancel culture and we have this miscommunication and JWs, and that stands for just whiners, by the way, doing what they're doing right now is because the platform supports it. The platform wants it to happen. That's the fucking problem. We don't
get engagement. It's conflict. It's war. Who makes the money? Are the people that are supplying the arms, whether that's the technology or the memes.
Imagine a world where you can't be blocked and you get to finish your conversation with that person, whether they like it or not.
Well, then again, just because you have the right to say something, somebody should also have the right if they don't want to listen, then.
That's fine if the person you're talking to doesn't want to listen, but there's a difference between blocking somebody in which I can't state anything on your Twitter, I can't reply to you because there are a million other people who are listening to that conversation that want to hear my voice.
Conversation just between
and mute me, that's fine. But at least you'll be on a platform where everybody else watching is going to hear your reply. And that's what we don't have right now. You got this cancel culturing bullshit blocking crap that shouldn't be.
Now, I got to jump out, memes. I got a few things I got to take care of, and then I got to get ready for my stream with Vinny at 7:45. So
awesome. Thank you. Now we're getting ready to wrap up as well, and I do agree with Live at the Love Shack. I want to see 50 Shades of Red starring Arwen Avalon as the eccentric millionaire redhead. I never read that movie or seen the book, but all I'm saying is, wait, what was it about again? It's about like a writer.
I haven't seen it, but I know what it's about. No, sorry. Nope. I'll take the millionaire part. I'll do that. But
oh, he was talking about the shade of gray.
Yeah.
Oh, that was about BDSM. Okay.
Yeah.
Never read it. I'm just saying, Terry likes to watch. Nobody would ever take that out of context. But we'll see. Thank you for swinging by.
Yeah, y'all have a good night. I'm glad I could stop in for a little bit, memes. I don't always have a chance to catch you when you're doing these things, so it's always awesome to talk with you, buddy.
Absolutely, my friend. You take care. We'll see you.
All right, Arwen, Piper,
Tommy.
Fat Steven, LDG, y'all be well. Everybody in the chat, y'all are awesome. Take care.
You too.
Be well, sir.
Hey, bud.
All right, so now that we've finished breaking enough from Multiverse, and I actually do need to finish up because we've been going for almost 2 hours, and I thought we started late. But oh, we see a kitty. We see a kitty.
That's
all right. So we'll do it in arbitrary, not quite reverse order. So, Steven, what do you got going on?
I'm gonna do a gaming stream soon. Monday, I'm trying to get the sponsored game stream set up, and from there, just shooting the stuff. That's it.
Fun stuff. Fun stuff. All right, we got you there. All right, Mr. LVG, what's the stuff and thing going on with you?
What's going on, man? Well, I've been away from YouTube for a little while, guys. I've been going through hell in a handbasket, but I am coming back shortly. Doing a whole full revamp, man. It's time. No more shits and games, man. It's time we free the net with the world's first true public platform. There are some things pushing forward with that, and I will be coming out with some videos, and hopefully you guys enjoy it. It's about time we stop talking and start doing, and try to have a little bit of fun on the way. And appreciate it. LDG at Geeks Enjoy, Twitter at Geeks Enjoy. Thanks, memes.
Thank you, sir. The lovely Miss Arwen Avalon.
Let's see. Tonight I'm going to be on the Pegasus Actual podcast on Supreme Heretics channel with Drew and Brightest Day. And tomorrow on my channel, we are having a girls' night stream at 7 o'clock. So, yeah, that's going to be fun. And then Saturday, kind of all over. I'm not sure if I'm going to be on Heirs of Chaos, but I don't know if T-Shirted Historian is going to be streaming or not. Normally I'm on him. And then, like Steven said, there's his pub chat Saturday night.
At 7:30. I almost forgot about that. Thank you.
Yeah. And that's about it for me for right now, so, for this weekend.
All right.
And you can find me on my channel and on Twitter, Avalon. So, thank you, memes.
All righty, thank you. And then again, the monster girl herself, Miss Piper. What's the dealio with you, Miss Pipes?
After this, I'm about to go stream some video game on Twitch.
What game?
Destiny.
Oh, I play that. I've had like 20.
That game's still in business.
Yeah, so yeah, dude, I have a love-hate relationship
Same.
with this game. It's so, but since they're doing their Christmas event, I'm streaming it. Yeah. For now until the event's over. So if you guys like the gaming stuff and the cartoon girl VTubing stuff, that's on the Fizz Giggity down here.
Nice.
On both Twitch and Twitter. And then Piper's Adventures for everything else I do, like comic book stuff and art stuff and YouTube stuff. It goes along with Adventures of Piper, the YouTube channel, which is on hiatus right now, but it's coming back in 2022 with like a bunch of stuff.
Cool. What class do you play?
Huntard.
You wanted the hoppers? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm a solar bottom tree titan.
Nice.
Yes, sir.
Does a hunter surprise you?
Only if it goes invisible grenade. Smoke grenade.
I played Destiny for all of 3 minutes when I was selling somebody a roof. It was a very fun game. I'm like, oh my god, it's my new WoW. But that's all I got. We got the folks down in the chat, which you should be available in the future as well. Hopefully we didn't offend too many people, but hey, thank you all for watching. Be safe with it, everybody. Peace out, and remember, come on and get your log. Everyone needs a log. Come on and get your log. Everyone needs a log. Log from Blammo. See ya.
Have you guys checked out the Memes of Destruction's channel? He's an interesting dude. I like him.